in. Unfortunate, though, Vermillion comes in as a 4 seed, trying to make it into Sodak 16. They knock you off. Your team doesn't even see the Sodak 16. How much is the revenge factor play into tonight, seeing if you can't play the spoils to the Tanagers?
Yeah, I don't know if it's that much revenge, but it definitely is them showing us that it can be done, that you can be a 4 seed and knock off a 1 seed. Obviously, it's a little bit different story. Vermillion's undefeated. We're not quite as strong record-wise as Vermillion was last year, but it's still anything can happen. It's 32 minutes. We're talking about 16, 17, 18-year-old kids here. So we know that if we play hard and we take some things away from them and we can hit some shots, anything can happen. That's why March is a special time, and we've all watched enough high school basketball to know that anyone can win on any given night. So we're hoping that that'll be one of those nights for us.
When you focus on the Tanagers, who has kind of drawn the big spotlight for you from the last game? Is it Jacob Dobney that you really want to focus in on, or is it just kind of making sure all 5 guys are shut down for Vermillion?
Yeah, I think you have to respect what Dobney's done for the team. He gets them going. So all the little things he does, the deflections, the steals, the coast-to-coast fast break layups and pull-up jumpers, being able to guard other teams' really good players. He's just a special player. We understand that. But at the same time, we're not going to help on him because we know there's other guys that can knock down shots, and then we don't want to leave the post wide open either. So Vermillion does have a complete team, but we're definitely going to put our better defenders on Dobney. We're going to scheme to try to keep him out of the paint and to take care of the ball so he can't go in transition.
What do you think the biggest aspect is in this game to get the upset over Vermillion that you need to key in and that you need to win?
Well, they will give you chances a little bit in the press. So if we can figure out how to attack early and either get good shots, layups, free throws, open threes when they press, and then being able to discern when to pull it out and then just kind of play for that last second type of shot on the shot clock. If our kids can figure out the difference between the two, when should we score early and when should we score late, I think that's going to be big. And then the other thing is we've got to be just really tough physically. They're going to be tough in the paint. The thing I admire about Vermillion, and one of the reasons why they're 20-0, is their players take charges multiple times a game. And so that just shows you that they play great help side defense and that their kids are unselfish. So hopefully if we can match that kind of thing, we'll have a chance.
As Coach McVay mentions it has been a season that's had its ups and downs, very inconsistent for the Lennox Orioles, but their most consistent game came on Tuesday and a 64-44 victory over the Canton Seahawks. Can that consistency continue tonight and see if they can't get the upset against the Vermillion Tanagers? We'll find out coming up here shortly. But right now, we're going to take a timeout, and when we come back, it's the head coach of the Vermillion boys, Jay Drake, talking about a very extended break for the boys and how they need to get refocused to make sure they can get this win tonight against Lennox and move into the Sodak 16 and move to 21-0 on the season. It's Jay Drake next of the Vermillion boys on our pregame show.
Dents and dings happen, and far too often people let them go. Whether it's a door ding, hail damage, or some other problem life has to offer, bring it into Blaine's Body Shop in Vermillion. We repair your vehicle fast and make it look like the accident never happened. Blaine's Body Shop will even deal with your insurance adjuster to make sure you aren't hassled. Don't ignore dents and dings. Instead, bring your vehicle into
Blaine's Body Shop. Blaine's Body Shop. Automotive collision repair.
This is the Farm Bureau Financial Services Debbie Profrock pregame show on ESPN 1015 AM 1570 and online at kvtk.com as we get you set for the semifinal matchup between the Lennox Orioles and the Vermillion Tanagers. Just a moment ago, we caught up with head coach Paul McVay of the Orioles, talking about how this team has been very inconsistent when it comes to their starting five and just kind of finding that right rhythm, and it seemed like on Tuesday evening they finally found that stroke they were looking for as they got the big win to move on to the semifinals. Again, final in Lennox on Tuesday, 64-44 over the Canton Seahawks. Now here on the pregame show, it's time to focus more on the Vermillion Tangers. Last time we saw the boys in action, it was a happy night as they were crowned the DAC-12 champions outright for the first time in school history, and also they broke another school record, the most consecutive wins. The record was at 19. Vermillion boys with this season made it 20 and remained perfect on the season. Then it was the waiting game to see if they would actually grab the number one spot inside the region. Not only would they grab the number one spot, but they are also the number one overall team in all of Class A. So if they can win tonight, they'll go to the number one seed in the SODAC 16 and also the number one seed if they make the state tournament. But first, they have to get past the Lennox Orioles. Can they do so? And what does Coach Drake think about this entire layoff that they've had? Well, let's hop right now into our interview and catch up with head coach Jay Drake. And Coach Drake, let's begin with our first question. What has it been like having these past 11 days off? Last time we saw you, the DAC-12 champions, as we just mentioned. And how did you keep the guys focused and maintained during this practice time and having the past 11 days off?
Yeah, a unique situation because, we played our final 6 regular season games in an 11-day stretch. Basically, we had the week of, 5 games in 7 days with Lamar's, Beersford, Madison, Wagner, and Flandreau, and then obviously 4 days later with Canton. So that was 6 games in 11 days, and now, we haven't played a game in 11 days. So, we were in a situation we were able to basically find out the way things kind of went down, and there was a game from Sioux City West that had not been entered from early January. So on Tuesday morning of last week after the Canton game, we knew that we were locked in as the 1 seed, which was good for us from the standpoint of there was a scenario if we wouldn't have known till maybe that Friday, then you're thinking, hey, we could still play a week from now on Tuesday in the first round of the region, and you got to kind of do things practice-wise. But when we knew on that Tuesday after the camp game, we gave the kids a couple days off, Tuesday, Wednesday, gave them Tuesday off, met on Wednesday, just kind of meeting, talk about some things. Did allow them to just shoot if they wanted to, but then basically came back Thursday, Friday, had 2 good practices, and then gave them the weekend off, and we've had 4 good ones this week. And it's the fine line this time of year. You're trying to stay sharp in somewhat of a game rhythm. You want to be sharp in practice, keep things going, and yet you're trying to tune up on some things and also trying to avoid any weird injuries this time of year. Because the most important thing is coming in mentally prepared but also healthy. And I think we've accomplished that over these 11 days.
You talk about claiming the first spot inside Region 4, and when it comes down to it, you also claim the overall number 1 spot. So when it comes to the SODAC 16, if you're able to get to that point, and also the state tournament, you will be the number 1 overall seed. We know about 20-0. We know about you being the DAC-12 champions, but how fulfilling was it knowing that you were ultimately the number 1 team in Class A?
Yeah, I think it's just a nice honor for our kids, and it kind of rewards them from what they did throughout the regular season. And a unique situation this year with, Dakota Valley is the number 2 overall seed. So, Region 4 as the number 1 and number 2 overall seeds in Class A if things were to play out the way they possibly could from a seeding standpoint. So, nice for our guys, other than the fact that, we're in a situation this time of year that you're basically playing each game in a 1-game situation, 1-game season, and you got to kind of just survive that night in advance. And if you do that, the one scenario, obviously, it does for us is when you're the number 1 overall seed, it starts to eliminate some possible matchups that you could or couldn't see in the next round. But for us, we got to get to the next round at this point, and our focus, especially the last few days, knowing after Lennox's win on Tuesday night over Canton that it's going to be the Lennox Orioles, and we're going to have to play well tonight to try to advance.
And to put it into perspective and how long of a break this has been, we talk about 11 days since your last game, but it's also been now exactly a month since the last time you saw Lennox. A much-changed team. They had a 20-point win in the first round of the region playoffs on Tuesday. What do you know about Lennox and how much they've changed and what you saw on film in that game against Canton on Tuesday?
Yeah, they're playing well, and their scores in games have probably been a little up and down this year, but some of that is due to the situation they've had just within their roster. We played them 4 weeks ago tonight on a Friday, February 5th, which was a makeup game because we missed out on them due to weather a few weeks prior to that. So, their group, they got two very good players in the Enan kid, who's a freshman, played last year off the bench as an eighth grader, in Ike, and it starts with those two. And, when we saw him a month ago, Enan was out with injury. They started the year, the Arlt kid didn't play early in the year because of football injury, then finally got him into the mix, and then once they got him back into the mix, late December, early January, he went down again. The Enan kid went down. And it takes some time when you come back from those things, but they're playing a lot better and playing well right now, and you can tell Enan's more into a game flow with his injury from earlier this year. He had a very good game the other night, and they led 56-28 after three quarters on Canton, and shot the ball very well and played very well. So Coach McVay does a nice job. They're a physical team, and they can get things done. A lot of tradition there, and it's one of those. Again, they're coming off a win on Tuesday night. They're 1-0. It's a postseason win, so they got some confidence, and they just got a nice, complete basketball team. 2 weeks ago they played Del Rapids to a 5-point game, so they're right there, and they can compete with anyone. And like anything in the postseason, we're gonna have to play well tonight to have a chance.
Definitely going to have to play well. As you mentioned, this is also a big rival between you two teams with Vermillion and Lennox. Also some history compared to last year when you were the 4 seed, they were the 1 seed. A much different situation, maybe not as much talent with Lennox as compared to your team with what you guys had and what you had returning for this year. When you look at your team, is there anything you did special during the past 11 days when it came to practice, or did you keep everything the same, just now focus on one game at a time and getting the wins and getting to a state tournament?
Right, nothing special. I think with most teams and most coaches this time of year, you probably shorten up your practices a little bit. You just want to be sharp within the practice, and I think our guys did that. Obviously, anytime you take this big a gap, especially when you're playing well, obviously when you went 20-0, you feel like you've had a good regular season. We felt like we're playing very good basketball. We've gotten kind of in a game rhythm, so it's always a concern when you have this. It's the good and the bad of the bye. Some would say you want that bye, you automatically get to the next round, and yet it prolongs when you play. And in this situation, we finished the season on a Monday. Some teams that finished the regular season last Friday. So even if we would have played last Friday, at least it's only been a week. But we were last Monday, so that's a concern, obviously, early on. More so, you want to get into an offensive flow and game rhythm early in the game, and to knock some shots down just to relax you. But it's probably more of a concern for us on the defensive end, because sometimes when you have a layoff, just from being down in the stance, remembering game quickness and all that stuff, the last thing you want to do is be a step slow or pick up a couple dumb fouls early, where you get them into the bonus or get your own team into foul trouble, and it changes the complexion of the game. So our guys, we've talked about it a lot this week, and it starts with just being in the stance and being mentally locked in and focused. And if you do those things, hopefully the rest will take care of itself.
You talk about stance. We go back to the beginning of the season. We talked about how you want to dominate the boards more, get more rebounds. Throughout this season, even talk more about focus scoring, making sure you're playing a consistent all 4 quarters, not letting up. What is the biggest aspect that you're going to be looking at with your team now heading into postseason?
It sounds so simple and stuff, but with any group and team, and when you get into postseason action especially, you can say this with any game, but obviously when you're playing a one-and-done season, at this time of the year. It all starts with basically defending and rebounding on that end of the floor. You've got to try to string together stops. You can't let other teams get into a flow or get some confidence offensively. And some of that is just by finishing possessions too. Rebounding the basketball. The defensive possession's not done until you have the ball. And, on the other end of the floor, you can never guarantee how you're going to shoot. You hope you shoot well. Obviously, that helps you out. But getting to the offensive boards and creating extra opportunities and possessions there. And then, we'll say this any game, but the key to our team year in, year out is we've got to defend, rebound, play extremely hard. But then on the offensive end, take care of the basketball. Anytime you lose games in the postseason, I think at the end of the night, the team that doesn't win the basketball game usually looks back and looks at probably one of three things. Sometimes it could be two or three, whatever the case. But, if you don't rebound the ball, if you don't take care of the basketball value possessions, you have too many turnovers. And then a lot of times, because you get into a lot of closer games kind of get shortened, less possessions at times, teams trying to grind it out. But free throws, you got to step up and knock down your opportunities at the free throw line, because I think a lot of times when seasons end, you go back and you say, man, if we would have rebounded better and if we would have taken care of the basketball better, or, hey, we just didn't knock down our free throws, and that seems to be the difference in the game.
Once again, he is head coach Jay Drake of the Vermillion boys. We're going to step aside on the Farm Bureau Financial Services Debbie Profrock pregame show. And when we come back, we're even closer to tip-off and, of course, the starting lineups for both Vermillion and Lennox. That's on the way next here on ESPN 1015 AM 1570. Along with Fuller Digital Solutions, I'm Heath Nimke. Back in a moment.
Second, stimulus checks are coming. What would be a good investment with that money? A new Lennox heating and cooling system from Larry's Heating and Cooling. Right now at Larry's, get a new Lennox system with no payments until July. No money down, and you'll have no worries this winter. Is it time for a new furnace and air conditioner? Get a high-efficiency heating and cooling Lennox system installed now by Larry's, and use your upcoming stimulus money to help pay for it. Larry's Heating and Cooling, Yankton and Vermillion.
Back at the Vermillion High School as we get you set for this Region 4 semifinal. Winner moves on to the Sodak 16. Loser will end their season tonight. Last year, it was the same matchup. The difference was it was in Lennox. Lennox was the 1 seed, Vermillion the 4 seed. Vermillion got the upset. Much different teams, but again, we're expecting a good matchup. These two teams met a month ago, and Vermillion got that 30-point win, 62-32. All right, let's take a look at our starting lineups for both the Lennox Orioles and the Vermillion Tanagers. Lennox coming into tonight, they are 8-13 overall in their season. They finished 3-3 inside Region 4 and 2-8 in the DAC-12. Tonight, their starting lineup will be different from a month ago. It will be number 3, Peyton Ike, the 6-foot senior guard. Number 4, Jackson Alt, the 5'7" junior guard. Number 13, Stephen Christian, the 6-foot junior guard. Number 24, Porter Enan, the 6'4" freshman forward. And number 35, Aiden Spielman, the 6'4" junior forward. And they are coached by Paul McVeigh. For the Vermillion Tanagers, it is the same exact starting 5 since Game 3. That has not changed. Again, Vermillion finished 20-0 on the season, 6-0 inside the region, and they are your DAC-12 champions at 10-0. Let's meet the starting 5 for this evening. Tonight, it will be number 20, Connor Saunders, the 6-foot senior shooting guard. Number 22, Jacob Dobney, the 6-foot senior small forward. Number 24, Dylan Gestring, the 6'5" senior center. Number 32, Jake Jensen, the 6'2" junior point guard. And number 50, Noah Gilbertson, the 6'3" senior power forward. And the Tanagers are coached by Jay Drake in his 13th season. Both teams will go extremely deep into the bench, and they can also shorten it up. Expect for the Vermillion Tanagers to come off the bench tonight for sure will be Nick Sorensen and Kale Mockler. We'll keep our eye on Lennox as they can bring Braden Wolf, Carter Van Houten, Gavin Sencluli, Jackson Plank, Mason Temme, and a couple others who will come off the bench tonight and play for the Lennox Orioles. We'll also be keeping our eye on other scores from around the State of South Dakota in Class A tonight, and we'll see if we can't give you as clear of a picture by the end of the broadcast of what the SODAC 16 matchups will be. Again, currently 30 teams are in action this evening as we're waiting another 15 spots to be punched. But right now, before we find out if who's going to punch the ticket here in Vermillion, we're going to step aside for our national anthem as the sound of Vermillion will be next.
Your officials for tonight's game are Brian Gary, Jason Como, and Chad Young. These officials are licensed at South Dakota High School Activities Association and hired by the region with a mutual agreement of schools participating in this event. Their experience and integrity qualify them to administrate the rules of the game. At this time, we now ask that you stand and remove your caps as we pay honor to America with this performance of our national anthem by the Vermillion High School Pep Band under the direction of Mr. Garrett Wilson.
That is the pride of Vermillion with the rendition of the national anthem. Jay Drake will bring his team inside the lane for their final meeting. Paul McVeigh has his team around the bench. On Tuesday, Lennox punched their ticket to meet in this semifinal against the Vermillion Tanagers, getting the win 64-44. It has been 11 days since the last time Vermillion took the court when they beat Canton and became your DAC-12 champions and also set a school record of winning 20 games in a row. Who can jump out early? Two meet in the middle, including Dylan Gestring and also Porter Enan. Ball is in the air. It's won by Lennox, and we are underway in this matchup of semifinals. Winner will move on to the SODAC 16. It's controlled by Lennox in their all-black uniforms this evening. Numbers and letters that are in orange with an orange stripe that runs down the side of their jersey. Top of the key, they control it with Ike. Now over the corner, three-pointer for Alt. Leaves it short off the rim, left side, rebounded by the Vermillion Tanagers. Saunders brings their cross, the Tanager logo, using the right-handed dribble. Now kicks it over to Jensen. Back to Noah Gilbertson. Gilbertson pump fakes it once to Saunders and will now make the short pass to him. Back to Gilbertson. 19 seconds on the shot clock. Now over to Dobney. Dylan Gestring, the only player right now for Vermillion, not to touch the ball. Now to Gilbertson. He'll drive in, have his shot. Looked like it's blocked from behind, but the official said he held on to it long enough and was able to draw the contact with Aiden Spielman trying to go up to get the block. Spielman will pick up his first personal foul and the first team foul. Send Noah Gilbertson to the free throw line looking for the first points tonight. The twinkle fingers are out from the Vermillion faithful, the student section, and Noah Gilbertson knocks it down. It's neon night here in Vermillion for the student section. Even have some glow sticks going. Second free throw for Noah. This one is off the mark and easily rebounded by Peyton Ike. Here comes Lennox in the front court trying to make a pass. It's going to be deflected away by Dobney, picked up by Jensen, up to Dobney, and Dobney strong with the right hand, lays it off the glass. Vermillion right now, no hangover from 11 days ago. They lead it 3-0. We're a minute into the ball game. Into lane, taking the charge is Noah Gilbertson. Drawing the foul is Steven Christian. Tried to work his way around the big body of Noah Gilbertson and unable to do so. So Lennox has already drawn 2 team fouls, and we're just a minute 10 into the ball game. 3-0. It's controlled with Connor Saunders. Again, Tanagers lead it 3-0 over the Lennox Orioles.
Dylan Gestring finally touches it for the first time tonight at the top of the key. Now to Saunders, over to Jake Jensen. Jensen penetrates down to the free throw line. Back out to Saunders. Saunders into the lane. Pull-up jumper. This one off the mark. Rebounded by Jackson Alt. They work it over to that far sideline at Enan. Enan's going to drive all the way in. Spin off the glass and good. Porter Enan, what a nifty move. They get the first points for Lennox, and now the official is going to have a stoppage in play. I missed on what it was for, but nonetheless, here we go once again. 3-2, Vermillion with a 1-point lead, 6:17 first quarter. Saunders over to Jacob Domney. Domney drives in, has his shot stripped away from him by Peyton Ike. Nice defense by Ike. Work it over now to Enan. Enan in the front court. Back out, they work at top of the key. Controlling it now is Peyton Ike. Ike down the elbow, pull-up jumper in the lane, knocks it down. Lennox has their first lead of the ball game, 4-3 with back-to-back buckets, 5:51 first quarter. Dobney over to Jensen. Now to the top with Saunders. Back straightaway to Dobney. He'll take the straightaway three. He leaves it short, and it will go out of bounds. Dobney wanted a foul, and he's the only one. 4-3, 5:42 first quarter. Again, Lennox has picked up 2 quick team fouls. Vermillion still at a big goose egg right now. In the backcourt, the press is on. Lennox is finally able to beat it up this near sideline. Goes Peyton Knight. Now dribbles it down to the low block. Has to kick back out as the space is cut off for him. To Enan, back to Ike. Now they switch it to that far wing. Driving in is Jackson Alt. His space is cut off. Back out to Spielman. Spielman drives in the lane. He throws it hard off the glass. Can't get the fall, though, and rebounded by the Tangers. Quickly up to Dylan Gestring. Gestring trying to back his way in. He's double teamed. Kicks out to Saunders. Saunders now down the low block. Splits by the double team. Throws it too strong, but an offensive rebound. Gilbertson trying to go back up and will do so with the left hand. Gilbertson, 3 points in the ball game. 5-4, 4:57 first quarter. Vermillion with a 1-point lead. Spielman pump fakes the pass in the lane. Back out three-pointer. Bingo! Peyton Ike knocks down a big three for Lennox, and they take back their lead. Now lead it by 2, 7-5, 4:41 first quarter. It's Connor Saunders who will bring it across the timeline. Now work it over to Noah Gilbertson, top of the key. To the near wing with Jake Jensen. Jensen dribbles it to Dobney. Back over to Gilbertson. Wide open three for him. Bingo! Hello, Noah Gilbertson. He now has 6 in the ball game. And Vermillion back with a 1-point lead, 8-7. I feel like this one's going to be a great one tonight. Now a pass that goes in between the legs of Porter Enan, and Dobney will go the distance. He was off balance, threw it off the glass. Did they call the foul, though, before the shot? No, they say it was on the shot. Dobney will head to the free throw line. That foul comes against Peyton Ike, picking up his first personal and the third team foul. We'll continue to watch that foul situation for the Lennox Orioles. Still 0 fouls for the Vermillion Tangers. 4:15 first quarter, a 1-point lead. The first free throw knocked down for Jacob Dobney. And with that, Dobney now has 3 points in the ball game. The other 6 belong to Noah Gilbertson, and Vermillion a 2-point lead, 9-7, 4:15 first quarter. Second free throw, you betcha, for Dobney, give him 4. 3-point lead for the Vermillion Tangers, 4:13 first quarter. Dribbling it with both hands, Peyton Ike will now get it across the timeline, holding up 2 fingers. Trying to get a screen from Spielman. Not going to work out, but able to dribble around Jensen. Now kick it to the near side. Enan drives in the lane, has his shot blocked away by Dylan Gestring as Enan was kind of falling over. Now they work it down to Gestring along the baseline. He's shoving his way in and is able to work his way around Peyton Ike and lay it up, and good for 2. Dylan Gestring the first points, and now head coach Paul McVeigh will use the timeout. We'll step aside and take the timeout with them for 30 seconds. You're listening to Tangent Basketball on ESPN, along with Fuller Digital Solutions. We're back in 30 seconds.
Mart Brothers Construction can handle all your construction needs, from custom-built homes to remodels, commercial buildings, egg buildings, and specializing in roof work and concrete work. Mart Brothers Construction also offers design service. For high attention to detail, highly skilled work in every specialty offered, and satisfaction guaranteed, see Mart Brothers Construction. Stop in and talk to them at their new office on the Bypass in Vermillion. Mart Brothers Construction, proud to support Vermillion Tanager Athletics.
Paul Paul McVeigh uses the first timeout of the ball game for the Lennox Orioles as the Vermillion Tanagers right now on their own 5-0 run. They lead it, or excuse me, a 6-0 run. They lead it 12-7, 3:49 first quarter. Great to have you along here on ESPN Radio, along with Boulder Digital Solutions, wherever you may be at, whether a Vermillion fan or a Lennox fan. Thank you for keeping it tuned in this evening. I'm Heath Nimke, along with Mark Krebs and Suki Ford running our video stream tonight. We'll keep you covered throughout the evening. A shot that's missed for Lennox, an offensive rebound, back up Porter Enan. Man, Porter just cannot finish so far tonight. The freshman, we'll see if he can't get his sea legs under him throughout the ball game. Saunders over to Noah Gilbertson. Gilbertson will drive baseline and now kick it over to Jensen. To the wing, Gestreen three-pointer off the side of the iron, and then a rebounding foul called against Connor Saunders. He crashed in and just made contact with Jackson Alt and nothing else, and Saunders picks up his first personal and the first team foul. 12-7, 3:18 first quarter. We'll keep you up to date as scores from around the state of South Dakota as well, including that Dakota Valley and T area game. We'll see how that one kind of goes. Interested, those two teams have not played against each other since the very first game of the season. Back in action, Temmie has it in the lane, back out. Ball takes a deflection, but still remains with the Lennox Orioles on the near side with Enan. Enan inside the lane, back out to Mason. Mason in the perimeter, pull-up jumper, knocks it down. It's the first bench points for either team, 12-9, and that ends a 6-0 run the Vermillion Tanagers found themselves on in this first quarter. Saunders has it, top of the key, works over to Domney. Domney, the drive down, now back out to the corner with Gestreen. Gestreen the drive, now back out to Domney. Now Domney will make the drive down the baseline, pull-up jumper, knocks it down, and they say contact was made on the shooting arm. Foul against Peyton Ike, picking up his second personal in the fourth team foul. Domney will head to the free throw line, trying to complete the old-fashioned three-point play. Right now, in other action, just under a minute left to go in the first quarter. T area leads it over Dakota Valley 17-6. Again, we're at the 2:38 mark first quarter here, 14-9. Vermillion a 5-point lead. We'll see if we can't find you scores from across the state of South Dakota as well, especially in Class A, and see who will make it on to the Sodak 16. To complete the three-point play, Domney misses the free throw. Lennox will bring it into the front court, controlled right now with Jackson Alt. They work it back to the top of the key with Wolf. And now a three-pointer, this one off the mark for Porter Enan, and Enan just can't buy himself a bucket right now in this first quarter. Quickly, Tanagers come in the front court. In the lane, Dylan Gestreen the drive. Contact from behind, missed it, but an offensive rebound. Nick Sorensen can't get the fall, gets back his own rebound. They work it down to Dylan Gestreen, and Gestreen is able to lay it off the glass. Great effort there. Goes by Nick Sorensen, though. Misses the shot, gets back his own rebound. Able to make the pass around to Saunders, down to Gestreen. Now the drive, trying to take the charge, not going to work. And a pass just high in the air by Porter Enan falls in the hands of Vermillion. Three-pointer on the wing, rims in and out, and falls out for Domney. Here comes Lennox now into the front court with Jackson Alt. Kick to the wing, three-pointer, misses everything. Battle for the rebound, and a foul called. It's going to be the second one on Connor Saunders. Nice job, though, by Mason Temmie, realizing the shot was going to be short, and he went diving in there to make sure he was able to draw the contact against Saunders. And again, Saunders is going to have to take a seat with his second personal and just the second team foul. Dakota Valley, they go on a 4-0 run to end the first quarter, and after one, Panthers lead it over the Titans 20-10, right now happening in North Sioux City. Back into action here, Lennox has it in the near corner, double team, down to Alt on the baseline. He's double teamed, working it back out. They work it to Porter Enan. Now to the top of the key to Temmie, over to the far side. Now back down to the baseline with Enan. Enan's gonna drive, throws an elbow. Oh, they caught him for it. He threw his left elbow into the gut of Jake Jensen, and a foul on Porter Enan. So this time he gets the bucket to fall, but draws the foul. It's the 15th foul against the Lennox Orioles. 16-9, 1:15 first quarter. Domney will slowly move it across the timeline, dribble it in between his legs, moving his right hand, telling guys to move around. Domney, pull-up jumper, free throw line, knocks it down. He just wanted clearance so he could hit the shot. He's got 8 points in the ball game. 18-9, 56 seconds remaining first quarter. It's going to be a pass. It's going to go over to Temi. It almost went out of bounds, and the fans were ready for him to crash into the sides. Now over to the near side. Driving is Jackson Alt. Back to the top, three-pointer. This one is off the mark. Battle for the rebound. It comes down with Lennox. Back out to Jackson Alt. He drives in, throws up the shot, and gets it to fall as he knocks down Nick Sorensen. 18-11, 29 seconds remaining first quarter. Dobney gets it across the Tanger logo. Shot clock is off, by the way. So we're just going to let this clock wind down. Vermillion trying to add to their 7-point lead right now. Noah Gilbertson saying, what, Coach Drake? What'd you say? Now we'll give it to Dobney. Dobney dribbling between the legs. Still Dobney, and he throws an elbow trying to get Mason Temi off of him, and will draw the foul as he knocks down the three, but again, it won't count. Dobney picks up his first personal and the third team foul. It will give it to Lennox, by the way, with 7.1 remaining in this first quarter. (18-11), 4 seconds as Lennox has it, top of the key. They work it over. It's going to be Enid, throws up the three. He leaves this one short as well. And that's the end of the first quarter. It's Vermillion that leads it over the Lennox Orioles, 18-11. We'll pause for a minute, and when we come back, the second quarter, that's on the way next here on ESPN 1015 AM 1570 and online at kvtk.com.
Life takes you places. Whether you're opening your first savings account or building credit, buying your first car or purchasing a home, starting a business or saving for retirement, Core Trust provides you with the tools you need for your financial success. When you're ready to take the next step, Core Trust will be here, right by your side. Visit coretrustbank.com today.
Member FDIC.
Dakota Realty and Property Management in Vermillion can handle all your realty needs. Their brokers all have roots in the Vermillion area. They're involved in the community, and combined, they have over 180 years of experience. Residential, commercial investment, farmland and lots, income properties and auctions. They even manage rental properties. Dakota Realty and Property Management, your hometown realtors on the corner of Cherry and Dakota in Vermillion, or online at dakotarealty.com. Happy to serve all your realty needs. Dakota Realty and Property Management.
One, it's the Vermillion Tangers that lead it over the Lennox Orioles, 18-11. Vermillion will begin with the basketball, moving from 4. Also Stanley County over Mobridge, 25-24. At the end of quarter one, Masson leads it over Parkston, 22-15. Back into action here, and that far corner, it's controlled with Porter Enid. Enid, the baseline drive, and he runs into Gilbertson and is able to draw the foul. Gilbertson picks up his first personal and the fourth team foul. Ether scores. Winner leads it right now over Hot Springs, 46-17, and Sioux Falls Christian over Garrettson, 28-6. 5:32, second quarter. Mason Temi has at the top of the key for the O's. Now the drive in, back out to Jackson Alt. Now they work it to Porter Enan. Enan inside the lane, the floater, knocks it down. Porter Enan ties up the ball game. A 2-point lead. But right now, Lennox finds themselves on a 7-2 run to start this second quarter. Dobney, his jumper at the free throw line, can't get the fall, and then a battle for it in the lane off the rebound. No, a foul call. A foul called against Noah Gilbertson as he was going to tie it up, and he won't do so. And Lennox, the players are all saying 1 and 1. It's only the fifth team foul. Noah Gilbertson, though, picks up his second personal. 5:05, second quarter, so Lennox has an opportunity now to either tie it up or even take the lead. Jackson Alt across the timeline. Work it over to Christian, and he wasn't ready. Christian wasn't ready for the pass, lets it go completely through his hands and out of bounds, so a bad turnover for Lennox. After what maybe should have been a tied-up ball, it's given right back to the Vermillion Tanagers. Other scores, Del Rapids leads it over West Central 21-11. And those are some quick score updates from right now inside Class A. All teams trying to make it into the Sodak 16. Jake Jensen A far two-pointer with his foot on the line. It's missed, but an offensive rebound by Nick Sorensen, and then a foul against Mason Temme as he was all over Nick Sorensen. So it will send Nick Sorensen to the free throw line, with that being the 17th foul to shoot a 1-and-1. Mason will pick up his first personal. 4:35, second quarter, 20-18, the Vermillion Tanagers with a 2-point lead. Here we go. Nick Sorensen, first free throw up, and this one rims in and out. He can't even cash in on the first one. Rebounded by Porter Enan. Enan across the Tanager logo, dribble in between the legs, Enan to the free throw line, now to Alt. They work it to the far corner with Spielman. Spielman back to Alt. Alt penetrates inside the perimeter, cut off though by Connor Saunders, and he works it back out. It's the top of the Tanager logo with Ike. Ike now dribbles it. Pull-up three on that far wing, off the mark, but an offensive rebound for Spielman. Spielman tries to split a double team, nothing working. Back out to Enan. Enan the jumper. This one left short, rebounded by Jake Jensen. We're halfway through the second quarter. Down to Nick Sorensen, the low block. He throws it off glass, and he gets the shot to fall, and he's fouled. He'll head to the free throw line, trying to complete the old-fashioned three-point play. 22-18, 3:57. Second quarter. And again, Nick Sorensen is heading to the free throw line, trying to complete the old-fashioned three-point play. And with that, that is Nick Sorensen's first points of the ball game. Dribbles it a couple times, throws it up there, and this time will knock it down. Giving now Nick 3 points this evening, 23-18. Vermillion back up to a 5-point lead, but Lennox, they can strike at any time. They have it right now with Mason. Mason will hand it off now to his teammate, Van Houten. Back over to Mason. Mason, the drive on the baseline, pull-up jumper, knocks it down. Mason Temme, 4 points off the bench for him, 23-20. You may remember, Mason started a month ago against the Vermillion Tanagers. Tonight, he comes off the bench. Jensen, a far NBA three. He leaves it sort of short off the side of the iron, but another offensive rebound. Dobney, he'll shoot the three. Off the heel of the rim, another offensive rebound for Sorensen. Into Dobney. Dobney is going to get whacked from the back of the head. He pump faked once, got a couple defenders to jump, and as they jumped, he went up with them and gets hit, and he'll head to the free throw line. It's the 19th foul now against Lennox, but 2 free throws upcoming for Jacob Dobney, who has 10 points this evening. Trying to make it 11-12. First free throw is knocked down. Quick score update, if we can find it, happening with that Dakota Valley T area game. My stream has stopped the load on that one. Of course it did. Boop, 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 boop. It does its whole entire load dance. Second free throw back here. Dobney is able to hit it, giving him 4 points in the second quarter. It's 33-32, a 1-point lead for Dakota Valley with 2 minutes remaining in the second quarter. That's down happening again in North Sioux City. Of course, we'll keep you up to date on scores from around the state of South Dakota on the Saunders Chiropractic halftime show. Porter Enan along the baseline tries to make a pass and stolen away by Nick Sorensen. Now up to Dylan Gestreen, and Gestreen lays it off the glass. Vermillion quickly starting to string some offensive possessions together. They lead it by 7, 27-20. Now it's a jumper that falls for Peyton Ike, if I could say his name there. Peyton Ike with the jumper now hits double figures at 10 points, 27-22. Dobney dribbling between the legs, far wing to Saunders, back to Dobney. He's trying to get the screen from Nick Sorensen. Gets it sort of, but quickly Lennox is able to cover him back up. Now to Sorensen, back out to Gestreen. Down to the lane, it's Cale Mockler. He goes up with his shot, but it's going to be stripped away by Peyton Ike. And quickly comes Lennox the opposite direction. Now to Porter Enan. He shoots the three. This one left short once again, and Porter just cannot hit a shot. It's Dobney. He tries to get a foul call. Nothing now. Three-pointer top of the key. This one's off the mark. Rebounded by Van Houten. It's quickly Lennox the opposite way now. Peyton Ike to Porter Enan. Straight away three. Enan leaves this one short, and then they're just leaving him short, knowing he's not going to hit the shot. Gestreen gets the outlet pass from Dobney. Gestreen goes up with a shot and gets the lucky bounce off the right of the rim and falls through. Dylan Gestreen, 8 points in the ball game, 29-22, 1:30 second quarter, as this has been back and forth action for the last couple of minutes here at the Vermillion High School. Top of the key, controlled for Lennox. They work it over to Enon. Now to Wolf. Wolf in the corner. Back to the top to Van Houten. To Porter Enon. To Temmie. Temmie has it right in front of head coach Jay Drake. Now the drive by Peyton Ike from the pass. Puts up a shot off the glass. Can't get the fall. Vermillion trying to add to their 7-point lead. It's Dobney. Passes back out to Kale Mockler. Mockler thought about the three, decides not to take it. Now to Saunders. Saunders the drive in the lane. Falling over, puts up a shot ugly. And this one way off the mark. Lennox quickly up to Ike. Now working underneath the Porter Enon. Enon guarded closely by Dylan Gestrin. His shot's blocked away once again. And back out though as Enon's able to get it back. Three-pointer knocked down from Carter Van Houten as he was left wide open. 29-25. 35 seconds remaining. Second quarter. It's Connor Saunders. It's 6 seconds that separate the shot clock from the game clock. Dobney now just holding on to it as the Lennox fans get into it. Channing defense. Dylan Gestrin now back to Dobney, close to the timeline. 9 seconds on the shot clock. Dobney puts down the right-handed dribble. Dobney in the lane, pull up, knocks it down. Jacob Dobney, 14 points for him, 31-25. 3 seconds. It's Temmie. Temmie pull-up jumper. This one off the mark, and that will end the first half. At halftime, Vermillion leads it by 6, 31-25. We're going to step aside and take a break, and coming up, we'll have the Saunders Chiropractic halftime show. And coming up, we'll take a look at scores from around the state of South Dakota and also take a look at the first half scoring. That's on the way next here on ESPN 1015 AM 1570 and online at kvtk.com.
All right, kids, come on. Time to clean up the house. That means pick up all your laundry, all the dirty dishes out of your room, and when you're done, I'll cook your favorite meal.
When you need appliances that can compete with the family demands, you need Murph's Appliance in Vermillion. Plus, they deliver, install, and dispose of the old. Grass stains, grimy plates, and a 5-course meal are no match for Murph's Appliance in downtown Vermillion. Big city selection, small town service.
Clay County Abstract and Title Company has a complex job that boils down to something very simple: helping you purchase your dream with confidence. When investing in a new home, a new site for your business, or piece of property, you want peace of mind that the property is truly yours. Clay County Abstract and Title Company has been doing just that since 1946. Clay County Abstract and Title Company, proud supporters of Vermillion activities and proud to be a part of your dreams come true.
Thousands of people are watching Fuller Digital Solutions live streams every night, and your business could be advertising to those viewers right now. Let Fuller Digital Solutions work with you to create a video commercial and a plan to increase awareness of your business on the many area live streams we provide. If you would like to know more about how you can advertise with us, email fullerdigitalsolutions@gmail.com and follow us on Facebook and YouTube.
Hi, I'm Matt.
In that first quarter, otherwise did not score in the second. He has 6 right now. And Jake Jensen and Connor Saunders, the other 2 starters for the Vermillion Tanagers, have yet to score in this one. And again, at halftime right now, Vermillion leads it just by 6.
I'm Olson. Call 624-5666. After hours, call 624-8777. Today's comprehensive medicine with yesterday's personalized care at Olson Medical Clinic, 1330 East Main Street in Vermillion. Or visit Olson Medical Clinic on the web at www.olsonmedicalclinic.com.
Thread and Ink in downtown Vermillion can help personalize any item for your business, organization, school, or individual needs. Thread and Ink has thousands of items they can customize just for you. Now through March 31st, take 25% off the retail price of engravable items and embroidery services. Bring in your own design or choose from one of theirs, and they'll bring your item to life. Thread and Ink at 106 East Main Street in Vermillion. They're here to make sure you stand out. Are you a small business owner, farmer, independent contractor, or self-employed individual? If so, you may be eligible for a very generous, fully forgivable loan through the SBA's Payroll Protection Program. Call Vermillion Federal Credit Union at 605-677-5214 or visit their website at vermillionfcu.com for more information. The application period closes March 31st, so don't wait. Give them a call today. Vermillion FCU is federally insured by the NCUA.
Back at the Vermillion High School on the Saunders Chiropractic halftime show. Neon theme tonight for the student section, as right now I believe they're throwing some neon sticks, trying to get it inside a little stick with some rings in there. Having some fun with the student section. Also the two tangers right now. Looks like playing some lightsabers, keeping the crowd a little entertained right now here at halftime as we're waiting the two teams to come out of the locker room. We still have a little bit of time though, so let's take a look at scores from around the state of South Dakota and what the SODAC 16 picture currently looks like at this moment. First, scores. Right now, Sisseton leads it over Tispazina at halftime, 23-17. Wagner on top of Parker, 40-39 at the end of the first half. Mobridge leads it over Stanley County with 6 minutes remaining in the third quarter, 38-28. Madison over Parkston at the end of the first half, 33-21. Winner leads it over Hot Springs with 4 minutes left in the fourth quarter, 60-27. It's safe to put Winner on to the next round. Millbank leads it over Groton Area at halftime, 22-19. Sioux Falls Christian on top of Garrettson, 38-13. That one's at halftime. Florence Henry leads it over Flandreau, 22-20 at halftime. Del Rapids is on top of West Central at halftime, 36-19. And also at half, Dakota Valley and T Area are deadlocked at 35 apiece. Other scores include Sioux Valley, leads it over Clark Willow Lake, 28-16. Chamberlain leads it over Miller, 45-14 at halftime. Pretty safe to put Chamberlain on to the next round. Belle Fourche leads it over Rapid City Christian with 5 minutes remaining in the second quarter, 20-18. No score update, though, we have not seen from St. Thomas More in Hill City. So right now, the way things look, this is how the current SODAC 16 bracket looks. Vermillion would play against Millbank in that first round. It'd be Dakota Valley because of the higher seed. That's just what we're going off. Otherwise, we'll go by the scores. Would play against Belle Fourche. Sioux Valley would play Sisseton. Sioux Falls Christian would get Wagner. St. Thomas More would get Custer. Chamberlain would play Madison. Winner against Florence Henry. And Del Rapids would go against Mobridge. Again, that is a current look at right now the SODAC 16 matchup. But that's just at halftime, and we still await scores for around the state of South Dakota. And when we have the conclusion of this game, we'll know the better picture, and we'll talk more about that. Again, I can guarantee you on our post-game show, we will officially know what that SODAC 16 bracket will look like. But again, right now at halftime, it's a 6-point lead for the Vermillion Tangers, 31-25. Just a few days ago on Tuesday, Lennox got the win over Canton, 64-44 to make it to this semifinal game in Region 4A. Vermillion, they have not played since last Monday when they wrapped up their regular season. The next day, they would lock up the #1 spot, not only in this region, but in the state of South Dakota. And you can kind of tell what seemed like a quick start, 11 days, have started to linger a little bit more. The Vermillion Tangers will come back out in their starting five, including Saunders, Dobney, Gestreen, Jensen, and Gilbertson. Lennox will come back out in their starting five, Ike, Alt, Christensen, Enan, and Spielman. And the Lennox Orioles will begin with the basketball, moving from right to left in their all-black uniforms, numbers and letters that are in orange, as they begin with the first offensive possession, the Vermillion Tangers, and their all-white uniforms, moving from left to right. A three-pointer straight away. This one is off the mark for Jackson Alt. It's controlled here in the front court now with Jake Jensen. Works it over to Saunders, to Jacob Dobney. Dobney back to Saunders. Back out to Jacob Dobney. Dobney dribble in between the legs. Now pull-up jumper. Leaves it short. Rebounded by Jackson Alt. Jackson will bring it into the front court. Now over three-pointer for Porter Enan. This one's off the mark as both teams can't buy a bucket here with the first 45 seconds gone. Jake Jensen over to Dylan Gestreen. Gestreen spinning around, has nowhere to work, kicks it back out to Jake Jensen. Jensen over to Dobney, now to Noah Gilbertson. Gilbertson to Connor Saunders. Saunders using the left-handed dribble, works it to his right hand, will dribble it to the top of the key. Now inside to the low block with Dylan Gestreen. Gestreen tries to force something up, falls over, and leaves it short. Rebounded by Aiden Spielman, but it's a quick turnover. Now to Saunders, the wing three from him. Bingo! Connor Saunders gets his first points of the ball game, and head coach Paul McVeigh will use the timeout. He wants a full timeout. We'll take a 30-second Culligan water break. You're listening to Tanger Basketball on ESPN. It's great to have you along as well, Lennox fans. We're back in 30 seconds.
Make space for tall items. Quickly and easily move the bins side to side for convenient storage options. The Flexi Slide Bin, brought to you by Whirlpool.
$33.92.
Vermillion, I just now noticed this. 1 of 7 from the three-point line this evening. Having a 9-point lead right now, 34-25. Again, I'm Heath Nimke along with Mark Krebs and Suki Ford running our video stream this evening. Whether you're from Vermillion, in Vermillion, over in Lennox, down in Arizona, all the way over to Florida, across the world, it's great to have you along on ESPN Radio, along with Fuller Digital Solutions. I'm Heath Nimke. We're back in action. It's controlled on the far wing with Alt for the Lennox Orioles. Work it down to Porter Enan. Enan, the left-hand hook shot, can't get the fall. It was tipped back up by Noah Gilbertson and almost went in for a bucket for Lennox. Now pull-up jumper with the contact made, nothing called. Battle for the rebound underneath. Ball goes out of bounds. Looked like Jake Jensen drew some contact on his jumper, but the officials say no, it was all ball. No contact made. 9-point lead for the Vermillion Tangers, 34-25, 6:17, third quarter. Inbounds pass to Jacob Dobney. Now down to Dylan Gestreen. Gestreen back out to Noah Gilbertson. Might as well leave Vermillion open, as they've only hit 1 3 just a moment ago with Connor Saunders. Otherwise, they did not hit a 3 in that first half. Noah Gilbertson back out to Jake Jensen. Jake Jensen pump fakes the 3. Now to Noah Gilbertson. Gilbertson, the drive, lays it strong off the glass, and he's fouled and will head to the free throw line. Oh, I'm sorry, Vermillion's made 2 threes. Noah Gilbertson made 1 in the first quarter. I thought it was off somewhere. So Vermillion's now 2 of 8 from the three-point line. It's simple, color by numbers, and I still sometimes get it wrong. First free throw is knocked down for Noah Gilbertson. It's his first points since the first quarter, that I can promise. By the way, it is the 4th foul on Aiden Spielman, and he'll have to come out of the ball game as the first team foul on Lennox of this second half. Second free throw for Gilbertson. He knocks him down both. And it's now back up to a double-digit lead for the Vermillion Tangers, 36-25, as they begin on a 5-0 run to start this third quarter. Jackson Alt has it along the far wing, guarded closely by Saunders. Jackson trying to drive in. Good to see Jackson back out in the court as well, dealing with that knee injury throughout the season. His left knee, that is. Actually, he picked that up during the football season, then rolled his ankle in the basketball season. Temmie has it, 3-pointer straight away. This one's off the mark, and it's going to be rebounded. Back up goes Porter Enan. Enan can't finish it off once again. Oh, just left it short. Rebounded by the Vermillion Tangers. Dobney goes from end to end, lays up with his hand, can't get the fall, and it's going to be rebounded by Porter Enan. Enan quickly into the front court. Now kicks it over to the corner along the baseline. Temmie back out, 3-pointer. Here comes Wolf. Nope, off the mark. Rebounded by Jake Jensen. Dobney across the timeline. Again, the Tangers right now on a little bit of a 5-0 run to start this third quarter. It's Saunders, has it stripped away by Jackson Alt along the baseline. He let him come in all the way, and as Saunders was about to go up, that's when Jackson stuck his hand in at the perfect time. 4:39, third quarter. 11-point lead for the Tanagers. Three-pointer. This one misses everything. Porter Enan is able to save it like a dodgeball off of Noah Gilbertson and out of bounds. He went up, grabbed the ball at the highest point, and said, "Here I come." Luckily, doesn't hurt too much as Gilbertson just scrapes it off. Lennox will have it now inside the lane with Ike. He loses it. A battle for the loose basketball picked up by the Vermillion Tanagers on the diving hustle of Saunders. Back out to Gilbertson. He'll shoot the three, but before that, we have a whistle and a foul called. A foul against Mason Temmie, I believe, away from the ball. Yes, it was. Mason picks up his second personal and the second team foul. 36-25, and does Coach Paul McVeigh want another timeout? He does. Coach Paul McVeigh will use his third timeout of the ball game, and we'll step aside and take the 30-second Culligan water break with them. You're listening to Tanager Basketball on ESPN. We're back in 30 seconds.
Thermobond Buildings, located in Elk Point, South Dakota, is proud to support this live stream for the Vermillion Tanagers. Thermobond manufactures buildings for a variety of industries, and we're currently looking for candidates to fill a number of production roles within the company. You can find an application on the website thermobond.com. Thermobond Buildings, proud to support the Tanagers.
For an estimate at 712-898-9579. Again, 712-898-9579.
Back here in Vermillion as Jacob Dobney gets us back into action. Pass down into the lane with Dylan Gestrin. He goes up with his shot, misses, but an offensive rebound. Great to have you back here on ESPN Radio, along with Fuller Digital Solutions. It's controlled with Saunders, and he loses the dribble in between his legs, throws it off his butt, and goes out of bounds right in front of head coach Jay Drake. So Lennox will get it back. Again, Vermillion has begun this third quarter on a 5-0 run. And that's it. That's all the points we've seen. And now a pass. Jake Jensen tries to save it from going out of bounds. Instead of throwing it back into play, he threw it higher into the stands. Lennox fans get that moment of excitement to touch the basketball before they have to give it back. It's not like baseball where you can keep it. Pass down to Ike along the low block, and he's pushed from behind, and a quick whistle against Jake Jensen, picking up his first personal in the first team foul. Nick Sorensen will come back in the ball game as Noah Gilbertson will take a spot on the bench. 36-25, 3:55 third quarter. Again, Lennox has not gotten a bucket in this third quarter. Porter Enan. Enan tries to drive, now make a pass, but it's going to be stolen away by Dylan Gestrin. Now up to Dobney. Dobney across the Tanager logo. Still Dobney into the lane, and a foul called. Trying to stop his movement was Peyton Ike, and Ike will draw the personal foul, picking up now his third personal and the third team foul against the Lennox Orioles. 36-25. Again, Vermillion has scored just 5 points in this third quarter. Zip for Lennox. Saunders gets it quickly in to Dobney. Dobney along the baseline. Dobney now will make a pass back to the top of the key with Saunders. Saunders, pull-up jumper. He can't get this one to fall, but an offensive rebound once again. Jake Jensen, he'll go up through contact. Can't finish it off, but a foul against Mason Temmie. You could definitely say, by the way, Mason, a man amongst boys out there with his facial hair, has the long flowing hair as well. He makes it look good. So fourth team foul against Lennox, as I mentioned, the third one against Mason. First free throw for Jake Jensen, knocks it down, and with that, all starters have now scored in the ball game for the Vermillion Tanagers. They add to this little 6-0 run now to start the third quarter, and misses the second one. But again, Vermillion has outscored Lennox 6-0 in this third quarter. We're at the 3:23 mark. It's controlled along the near wing with Sankouli. First time I've called out his name this evening. Temmie tries to make a pass down to Ike, and it was kicked by Jake Jensen, goes out of bounds, and will reset along the baseline. Lennox basketball. 37-25. See if we can't find you scores from the rest of the state of South Dakota here in just a moment. It's controlled now in the lane with Ike. He's double teamed. Back out to St. Cooley. Three-pointer. Bingo! Big three-pointer from Gavin St. Cooley. It's the first points for Lennox in this third quarter. Three-pointer the opposite way. Jake Jensen. He misses it, but another offensive rebound. Back out to Jacob Dobney. And we are going to get a sideline warning on Paul McVeigh. Now, refresh my memory. Did McVeigh pick up the technical last time? I can't remember if he did or not, but he gets a warning. So a reset here. Now this time, I believe he got a technical last time these two teams met up, and he had to sit for the rest of the game. This time he remains on his feet. Kale Mockler, as we're back in action, has it on the near wing. And it's controlled now with Saunders over Dobney. It's impressive what these officials can hear, even when McVeigh is wearing a mask. Dobney, pull-up jumper, can't get the fall, but another offensive rebound for Dylan Gestreen. Back out. Gestreen to Kale Mockler. Mockler in the lane, puts up his shot, can't get the fall, but another foul called, and it will send Kale Mockler to the free throw line. Coach McVeigh's, what are we calling out here? Why is this just going one way? The foul, by the way, goes against Mason Temme, his fourth personal, and now the fifth team foul on the Lennox Orioles. Kale Mockler for his free throw. This one is good. Kale, his first points of the evening. Now, don't look at me for any of this officiating. I'm not the one who draws these guys. I'm just the one that calls the action. Second free throw upcoming. Other games across the state of South Dakota, Sisseton leads it over Tispazina, 38-29, as that score is just updated. 6 minutes remaining in the fourth quarter. Kale Mockler makes his second free throw. Other games, Wagner leads it over Parker, 54-46. Mobridge on top of Stanley County, 53-40. We'll keep you up to date on other scores coming up here in just a moment as a baseline drive is made by Peyton Ike, and he draws contact against Connor Saunders, and Saunders will now pick up his third personal and the second team foul. He'll come out, Jake Jensen back in. Other scores, Masson leads it over Parkston. That one has not been updated. Sioux Falls Christian leads it over Garrettson with 2 minutes remaining in the third, 45-21. Inside the lane, Stephen Christian, that is, for Lennox Orioles, lays it past Dylan Gestreen for his first points of the evening. And back under double digits, 39-30. It's Dylan Gestreen. He knocks over Porter Enan. Enan doesn't draw the foul, and Dylan will easily throw off the glass for double digits for him, and a timeout is called. A timeout called by Jay Drake or Paul McVeigh. It was Jay Drake who takes the 30-second Culligan water break. We're going to keep it right here on ESPN as we're going to keep going over scores right now. Groton area, they lead it over Millbank 33-32. One that has gone final, Winter, has beaten Hot Springs 61-30, so Winter is on to the Sodak 16. Blandrew leads it over Florence Henry 33-30, start of the fourth quarter. Del Rapids on top of West Central, but West Central has made a big comeback in the third quarter. But again, Del Rapids leads it 43-37. At the beginning of the fourth quarter, Dakota Valley on top of T area 50-49. In other games, Sioux Valley leads it over Clark Willow Lake 45-28. Chamberlain on top of Miller 62-21, and Belle Fourche leads it over Rapid City Christian 26-18. And as a quick look at your scores right now, if Vermillion holds on to win, they will play Belle Fourche in the Sodak 16. But a lot still could happen. We're back in action here, 1:53 third quarter. It's an 11-point lead for the Tangers. Back to the top of the key, Porter Enan, straightaway three. He leaves it short once again. Battle for the rebound. Nick Sorensen stretches out his big left arm to pull it down before Lennox can get to it first. It's Jake Jensen dribbling between the legs. Now over to Dylan Gestreen. Three-pointer, splash! Dylan Gestreen hits the big three. Give him 13 points for the ball game, 44-30. Under 90 seconds remaining in this third quarter. It's Christian. He drives in, strong off the glass, gets it to fall, and he's fouled. He'll head to the free throw line. Stephen Christian, all 4 points coming in this quarter. When Lennox needed some buckets, they have relied on him. And now again, heading to the free throw line, trying to complete the old-fashioned three-point play. 44-32, 1:22 third quarter. It's the first foul on Nick Sorensen and the third team foul on the Vermillion Tangers. The three-point play is not going to be completed as this one's banging hard off the back of the rim. Rebounded by Vermillion. Up in the front court, Jacob Dobney, who has not scored in this third quarter. Dobney back out to Jake Jensen. Jensen, the drive down to the low block, throws it hard off the glass, misses. Battle for the rebound, comes up, Braden Wolf. Wolf quickly from end to end in the lane, throws up his shot. He can't get the fall. Rebounded by Dylan Gestrine. Over to Dobney. Dobney, the high dribble, brings it across the timeline. Now picks up the dribble and between the legs. Excuse me, never picked up the dribble. I'm sorry. Still Dobney calls for the screen, gets a couple of them. Dobney in the lane, through contact, throws it off the glass. They say foul, though, first. Foul was first before the shot. It's the 16th foul, though, on the Lennox Orioles, so next one will give Vermillion bonus, and we're not quite to the fourth quarter. So Jake Jensen, a high inbounds pass to Dylan Gestrine. He climbs the ladder, goes up with his shot, can't get the fall, then will go out of bounds, battling for the rebound. They say at last touched Porter Enid. I'm excited to watch Porter, by the way, come up in the next few years. Him just a freshman. He's going to be a pretty talented ball player. 44-32, 40.3 remaining third quarter. Inbounds pass to Dobney, and a quick foul given by Christian. Oh, that's a bad foul to give by Christian. It's his second personal, but again, these 17 fouls, so now Vermillion is shooting bonus. And that is the, again, third foul on Christian. 44-32. 11 of 15 Vermillion from the free throw line. And this one, the 1-and-1, off the mark. 35 seconds remaining third quarter. It's 3 seconds that separate the shot clock from the game clock. Peyton Ike will have it in the front court for Lennox. They can hold for the last second shot if they want to, but again, trailing by 12, Lennox needs some buckets. Now the drive along the baseline is Peyton Ike. They work it back out to the wing. It's controlled with Wolf. The Wolf drive down to the low block. He throws it off the glass. Can't get the fall. 9 seconds in ticking. Dobney across the Tanager logo. Dobney, top of the key. Dribble in between the legs. Dobney down to the low block. Spin around jumper through contact. Can't get the fall. Put back by Jake Jensen. He can't get the fall, but I believe there was a whistle before the buzzer. Wait. We do get a foul. We have free throws upcoming. The foul against Braden Wolf. It's the 8th team foul. Is it, I missed it, was it 2 or is it a 1-and-1? I believe it was 2 as they called a foul again against Wolf. I don't know why everyone's coming back on. Oh, I'm sorry, they put .2 back on the clock. They put .2 back on the clock, and heading to the free throw line will be Jake Jensen. He'll be shooting 2. They do call him for 2 free throws as he was trying to put it back up. The free throw up and knocks down the first one. So Jake Jensen, 2 points this evening. 31-25 at halftime, and right now Vermillion leads at 45-32. Lennox has scored just 7 points. Vermillion, they score 15, and that's a big reason why they lead it at the end of the third quarter. 46-32. Lennox needs to get back into it in the fourth quarter. We're going to pause for a moment. We'll see if they can do so. That's coming up in 60 seconds here on ESPN.
Last patch of snow from your drive.
Vermillion Medical Clinic has an ongoing mission to provide areas with quality health care and convenient access to medical professionals. Our patients at Vermillion Medical Clinic value our dedicated primary care physicians, compassionate PAs, and consistently scheduled outreach specialty care. If you have health questions, need a screening, or have medical concerns for yourself or family members, call us for an appointment or visit VermillionMedicalClinic.com. So much care, so close to home.
After over a decade of customer service in our store, helping my customers with our free interior design service is still my favorite part of my job. Not all customers feel confident designing their own room. Whether you need help measuring, matching up with new paint or carpet, or have remodeled or built new, we are here to help you understand how to arrange and purchase for your room. Enjoy free design service at the Yankton Slumberland, 2401 Broadway. It's a good life.
Back here in Vermillion as we head to the fourth quarter. Got to pull up all my right features here. All right, let's kill the music. There we go. 46-32 as we begin this fourth and final frame. What we were watching there for a moment was the score right now between T-Area and Dakota Valley with 4:15 remaining in the ball game. The Titans lead it over the Panthers by 2. And it was so funny because in behind-the-scenes conversations, Vermillion said, we don't want T. We want to avoid them. We want the 1 seed, and that's why. Dakota Valley and T-Area both belong in the Sodak 16. One of them won't make it. Back into action here. It's a 12-point lead, or excuse me, a 14-point lead as we begin the fourth quarter. Vermillion with the basketball. They can work some of this clock if they want to. We'll see as they outscored Lennox 15-7 in that third quarter. A pass underneath. It's to Gilbertson. He lays it up and good, and he is fouled. It's the 9th team foul, and now it's time to bring up this number right here. Vermillion, 13 of 18 from the free throw line. Lennox, 0 of 1. That's been a difference maker right now. 48-32. Noah Gilbertson trying to complete the old-fashioned three-point play, and he won't do so. So Vermillion now 13 of 19, but again, Lennox 0 of 1. 48-32. It's controlled with Porter Enan. Enan now over to Ike. Ike at the elbow. Now to Christian. Christian drives in strong, gets it to fall, and a foul called against Noah Gilbertson. And heading to the free throw line, Steven Christian trying to complete the old-fashioned three-point play. Nice job by Steven Christian, just coming alive in this second half when they needed him the most. So again, he'll step up to the free throw line where they are 0 of 1 this evening. This one knocked down. And Christian with that now has 7 points in the ball game. 48-35, a 13-point deficit for the O's. Dobney over to Dylan Gestring. The top with Connor Saunders. Now to Noah Gilbertson straight away. He'll drive down the elbow. Now have to move back out to Dobney. Dobney dribble in between his legs. Now back to Noah Gilbertson. Gilbertson straight away 3, knocks it down. Noah Gilbertson, a big 3, give him 13 points for the ball game. 51-35, 6:51, fourth quarter. Porter Enan trying to find some space. Now works it to Jackson Alt. Over to Christian. Back out to Ike. Ike spinning the lane. Jumper. This one off the mark. Rebounded by Noah Gilbertson. Gilbertson will get it over to Dobney, the floor general right now. Back to Gilbertson. Back to Dobney. Dobney inside the lane. Kicks it back out. Saunders straight away 3. Bingo! Connor Saunders. Another big 3 for him. Give him 6 points this evening. And Vermillion, they're starting to open it up. 54-35. It's a 19-point lead. Christian, or excuse me, that was Ike who shoots the 3. This one is off the mark. And a rebound by Vermillion. This is their biggest lead of 19 right now. Over to Jake Jensen. Jensen, a hop in the lane. Jumper knocks it down. 21-point lead now for Vermillion as they're just blowing this one open. And head coach Paul McVeigh, he needs to stop the bleeding and he needs to get his team refocused right now. It's 56-35 as we head to a timeout. We're back in 30 seconds here on ESPN 101.5 AM 1570.
Clay County Abstract and Title Company has a complex job that boils down to something very simple: helping you purchase your dream with confidence. When investing in a new home, a new site for your business, or piece of property, you want peace of mind that the property is truly yours. Clay County Abstract and Title Company has been doing just that since 1946. Clay County Abstract and Title Company, proud supporters of Vermillion activities and proud to be a part of your dreams come true.
Vermillion begins this fourth quarter on a 10-3 run, and it's quickly getting away from the Lennox Orioles. Right now, our video stream is kind of crashing when it comes to that T-Area Dakota Valley game. Have to give Pat Schiltz and Metro Sports TV kind of a kick in the butt while their stream keeps crashing. With that, I can't say too much. I know our stream has crashed this evening as well. 56-35. 5:56 fourth quarter. It will be Lennox who will bring it into the front court. They control it with Christian. Christian at the free throw line. Back over to Porter Enan. He'll shoot the three. Leaves it short. Rebounded by Jacob Dobney. Dobney across the timeline. Now over to Connor Saunders. Back to the top. Straightaway three. Gilbertson. He knocks it down. Another big three. And Vermillion just can't seem to miss at this point. 59-35. A 24-point lead. Peyton Ike in the lane. He goes up with a jumper. Can't get the fall, but he is fouled and will head to the free throw line. We'll take a look at scores from around the state of South Dakota here in just a moment as well. As again, heading to the free throw line, we await free throws upcoming for Peyton Ike. First free throw is knocked down. It's the first points for Peyton Ike of this second half. And again, with 3:53 fourth quarter, T-Area leads it over Dakota Valley 54-53. We'll wait the second free throw back here by Peyton Ike, and he knocks it down. So Peyton Ike with 12 points this evening. It's a 22-point lead, and now a foul in the backcourt given up by Lennox, and with that, it is the 10th team foul. So Vermillion will be shooting double bonus the rest of this fourth quarter. In fact, the rest of the ball game, even into overtime if we get to that point. But right now, it doesn't look like it's going to be headed that direction. 59-37, 22-point lead. First free throw is off the mark, and right now, Vermillion, they can't finish from the free throw line. Again, we'll see if we can't find just score updates from around the state of South Dakota here in just a moment. Got to pull up all the right information once again. Second free throw, as Saunders is able to knock it down, giving him now 7 points, including 4 in this fourth quarter. 60-37. Ike will have it. Will hand it off to Gavin Sancouli. Now over to Ike. Ike, the catch and shoot three. Bingo, Peyton Ike. How about that? 5 points for him now quickly in this fourth quarter. Now a 20-point lead for the Vermillion Tanagers. Across the Tanager logo is Jacob Dobney. Over to Jake Jensen. Back to Connor Saunders, and they move it around the perimeter. Now to Dylan Gestring. Gestring to drive down the low block. Kind of goes up with the shot. A jump ball called. Out of everything that has happened tonight, we call that one a jump ball. I'm not saying they've been bad officials, but that one just seems like kind of an interesting call to make. 60-40, 4:51 fourth quarter. It will be Lennox basketball. That's either a foul call or you just let the guys play. Definitely not a jump ball. That's the last resort kind of call. Peyton Ike will now work it over to Carter Van Houten. Back to Ike to Sam Cooley. To Mason Temme, who's spent a lot of time on the bench with 4 personal fouls. Back to Sam Cooley, who hit a big 3 in the third quarter. Now down to Ike. Ike the drive, throws it off glass, can't get the fall. Tanagers crash the boards and finally come up with the rebound. They bring it into the front court now. Dobney working some more of his clock. We're at the 4:15 mark, a 20-point lead for the Vermillion Tanagers. Saunders over to Noah Gilbertson. Now to Jacob Dobney. Dobney to Gestring. Back to Jacob Dobney. Dobney the drive in the lane. He tries to go up with his shot and can't get the fall. But he'll head to the free throw line to shoot 2 free throws. 60-40, 4:01 fourth quarter. Stick around, Tanager fans, as well. As coming up, we will keep our video stream going for this evening. And we'll keep our video stream going, and we'll have a conversation with head coach Jay Drake, as well as take a look at the final game numbers. Lennox fans as well, stick around. We'll catch up with head coach Paul McVeigh. I guess I didn't ask him if he wanted to have a conversation. Right now, I feel like he might not be interested in one. It's a 20-point deficit as this team played so close. In fact, at halftime, it was 31-25. Second free throw after Dobney missed the first one, makes it, and that's the first point for Jacob of this second half. 61-40, 3:43 fourth quarter. Ike to Temme, back over to the corner. Sancouli, he shoots the three, knocks it down again. Gavin Sancouli off the bench. Give him 6 points. 61-43, and now an 18-point lead. It's controlled with Saunders. Now over to Dobney. Dobney in the lane, throws up a shot, ugly, but somehow Vermillion gets an offensive rebound. Back out to Jake Jensen, he shoots a three. Another offensive rebound, battle inside the lane. So you're telling me that when Dylan Gestring went up for his shot, they called that a jump ball. We have multiple guys on the ground, and it takes forever to get a jump ball called? I give up. I don't know what a jump ball is anymore. 61-43, 3:23 fourth quarter. Possession arrow this time favors the way of the Vermillion Tangers. By the way, Dakota Valley, well, they blew it open late in that fourth quarter. They lead it now by 9, 64-55. In fact, they're dribbling out the clock. It looks like Dakota Valley is going to get the win and move on to the Sodak 16. T area, though, gave them a scare. Dobney has it at the top of the key. Now to Jake Jensen. Back to Jacob Dobney. Dobney to Noah Gilbertson. 9 seconds in the shot clock. Gilbertson, a pull-up jumper, free throw line. Off the mark, but another offensive rebound. Back up, and Dylan Gestring will finish. All starters have scored in this fourth quarter, and a timeout called by head coach Jay Drake. Stick around, though. As I mentioned, coming up after the conclusion of this game, we'll keep the video stream going. We'll keep it right here on ESPN as well, and we'll have our final game statistics and take a look at scores from around the state of South Dakota and what the Sodak 16 picture looks like, including a couple of games that have gone final. Mobridge got the win over Stanley County, 54-40. Other games that have gone final, Winner gets the win over Hot Springs, 61-30. Sioux Falls Christian took down Garrettson, 65-31. Flandreau beats Florence Henry, 48-44. That one is a slight upset, as Flandreau was the 3 seed in that region. Other games have gone final. Sioux Valley gets the win over Clark Willow Lake, 57-43, and Chamberlain downs Miller, 81-36. And a quick look as the way things now stand, Vermillion will play Millbank in the Sodak 16. That Millbank game, though, still has a little bit left to go, so we'll keep watching that one. The clock ticks away. It hits 0. Dakota Valley, they get the win over T area, 64-58. So the Panthers are now on to the Sodak 16. Back in action here after the Culligan water break. It's controlled with the Orioles. Top of the key, far 3 from Peyton Ike. That will miss everything. He shot the NBA 3, kind of just a desperation heave, knowing they need points right now, the O's do, and can't quite get it to fall. 63-43. Jake Jensen will take a spot on the bench as Cale Mockler will come back in. 2:33 remaining in this fourth quarter. Jacob Dobney across the timeline. Dobney with the left-hand dribble, has it stolen away? No, Vermillion somehow picks up the loose basketball back. It's into Saunders, the lane, his floater off the mark, another offensive rebound, back up, and Dylan Gestring is able to knock it home. I'm not for sure how many offensive rebounds have been gotten by, or I should say, have been pulled down by the Vermillion Tanagers, but it's going to be a lot. We'll get that final number coming up and the conclusion of this one. It's up with now Dylan Gestring. Gestring back out to Connor Saunders, moving around the perimeter as they can just continue to work the clock, the Vermillion Tanagers, that is. 1:48 and ticking away. 15 seconds on the shot clock. Vermillion, not quite official yet, but it's safe to say their ticket is punched into the Sodak 16. Dobney to Saunders. Saunders, the jumper at the elbow, leaves it short. Battle for the rebound, still being tipped around, and finally pulled down by Sancooley. We'll now see the reserves come in for Vermillion if we get another dead ball. Top of the key, it's by Ike. Down to the elbow, almost has it stripped away. Over to Sancooley. Work it over to Spielman. Back to the top with Eden. Eden, pull-up jumper at the elbow, leaves it short. Rebounded by Jacob Dobney. 1:05, fourth quarter. 65-43, and the official will blow the whistle as we will let the starters for the Vermillion Tanagers and some of the starters for the Lennox Orioles come out. Again, 64 seconds separate the Vermillion Tanagers from moving on to the Sodak 16. One heck of an effort, though, by Lennox, as Lennox was in striking distance at halftime, 31-25, but Vermillion able to jump out quickly in the third quarter, blow it open in the fourth quarter to make it look like a comfortable win. But as you've been tuned in for this whole entire game, it's been anything but. Carter Mart has it at the top of the key. Jeremy Crow now over to TJ Tracy to Carter Mart. Mart dribbles it in the lane, back out to Crow. Crow back to Carter Mart, catch and shoot three, knocks it down. Carter Mart off the bench, knocks down a big three. That gets everyone excited, 68-43. A 25-point lead for the Vermillion Tangers. Peyton Ike still on the court. He shoots the three. This one off the mark for the senior. Peyton Ike, one heck of a career for him. Temmie, he'll shoot the three now. He leaves this one short. Rebounded by Ty Hertz. And the final 20 seconds will tick away. The student section will go into their chant, made famous by the U.S. men's national soccer team. I believe that we will win. Ty Hertz holds it at the Tanger logo. 5 seconds, and they tick away. The final here in Vermillion, 68-43. Vermillion gets the 25-point win, and they are on to the Sodak 16. The Lennox Orioles will finish their season at 8-14. They battled through adversity, they battled through injuries, and in the end, they come up short in the semifinals as inside Region 4A, Dakota Valley and Vermillion both on to the Sodak 16. As I mentioned, coming up here on our First Dakota National Bank on ESPN Radio, along with Fuller Digital Solutions, we'll keep our video stream going. We'll have our conclusion of the final game statistics and also have a conversation with head coach Jay Drake. That's all on the way here on ESPN 101.5 AM 1570 and online at kvtk.com.
Second, stimulus checks are coming. What would be a good investment with that money? A new Lennox heating and cooling system from Larry's Heating and Cooling. Right now at Larry's, get a new Lennox system with no payments until July. No money down, and you'll have no worries this winter. Is it time for a new furnace and air conditioner? Get a high-efficiency heating and cooling Lennox system installed now by Larry's, and use your upcoming stimulus money to help pay for it. Larry's Heating and Cooling, Yankton and Vermillion.
Mart Brothers Construction can handle all your construction needs, from custom-built homes to remodels, commercial buildings, egg buildings, and specializing in roof work and concrete work. Mart Brothers Construction also offers design service. For high attention to detail, highly skilled work in every specialty offered, and satisfaction guaranteed, see Mart Brothers Construction. Stop in and talk to them at their new office on the Bypass in Vermillion. Mart Brothers Construction, proud to support Vermillion Tanager Athletics.
Life takes you places. Whether you're opening your first savings account or building credit, buying your first car or purchasing a home, starting a business or saving for retirement, Core Trust provides you with the tools you need for your financial success. When you're ready to take the next step, Core Trust will be here, right by your side. Visit coretrustbank.com today.
Member FDIC.
68-43. Great to have you along here on ESPN. Along with Fuller Digital Solutions, I'm Heath Nimke as the fans have taken the court here at the Vermillion High School to cheer on the Vermillion boys. They now move to 21-0 on their season, and again are on to the Sodak 16, where they made it to last year before they lost against Del Rapids. And then after that, that was the same night. Crazy to think about it, but last time we played in a SODAC 16 was also the night that COVID-19 was announced in the state of South Dakota. Everything became unsure after that. We got our first game in with the Class B girls state basketball tournament. After the game one, they said unsafe to play, and nobody would play after that. We wouldn't even finish the Class B state tournament. And, of course, as we know, we're still dealing with that currently, as everyone on the court right now walking around with face masks on. Great to have you along with the First Dakota National Bank postgame show. I'm Heath Nimke. Coming up here on the postgame show, we'll join with head coach Jay Drake of the Vermillion boys. Also, we'll take a look at the SODAC 16. In fact, I'll try to kill enough time to see if we can't get the whole entire bracket and what it will look like. That is also coming up. Plus, if you're a Lennox fan driving home right now or even a Vermillion fan, we'll try to keep you entertained for most of the drive. But right now, let's begin with our stats, and we'll catch up with head coach Jay Drake of the Vermillion boys here in just a moment. But let's go over those full numbers for both Vermillion and Lennox. We'll start with the away team, the O's tonight, as finishing in the ball game, 15 points for Peyton Ike. Otherwise, he was the only one to hit double figures out of the 43 points. Next one up was Stephen Christian, getting all of his 7 points in the second half. 4 points for Porter Enan, as Porter just had a tough night. He went 2 of 16 from the field. So that's just kind of the night that he had. Also 4 points off the bench for Mason Temme, 3 points for Carter Van Houten, and also 2 points apiece for Jackson Alt, and also 2 points from Aiden Spielman, and 6 points for Gavin Sancouli. Almost missed him in my numbers. He came off the bench and hit 2 big threes, but they were just kind of at the end when it really didn't matter as much. For the Vermillion Tangers, they put 3 different players into double figures, including Dylan Gestring, who actually led the way with 17 points as he shot 8 of 14 from the field. After that, it was 16 points from Noah Gilbertson. He put up a season high of 16 points. Jacob Dobney had 14 at halftime, would add just 1 more point and finish with 15 in the ball game. 7 points for Connor Saunders, 5 points for Jake Jensen, 3 points for Carter Mart off the bench. Also Nick Sorensen with 3 points off the bench, and Cale Mockler with 2 points off the bench as well. Coming up here on our First Dakota National Bank post-game show, we'll take a look at scores from around the state of South Dakota, as currently there is only 2 games remaining, including one that will determine here shortly who Vermillion is going to be playing in the SODAC 16. Coach Drake, I'll have that for you by the time we're done with our conversation. As now joining me on the postgame show is head coach Jay Drake, and we begin with 11 days since the last time you played a game. Was there a hangover?
No, I actually, you didn't know what to expect, like we talked in the pregame, and it's been a long wait for a basketball game. We hit some shots early, which I said, relaxes you a little bit. I thought we got out, a couple times. You knew they weren't going to, and my fear, and we talked about it with our group, honestly, the game probably went the way I thought it would. It sounds, I didn't know if it'd get to 25, but, and I will say at halftime, in my mind, in a perfect world, I was hoping more for like a 9-10 point lead, close to double figures. It was only 6, okay? But it was going to be a grind. We told our guys, I think a lot of people out there thought, the Vermillion just have this knockout punch in the first, second quarter, game's over at halftime. There wasn't going to be any of that. They compete. They're a good basketball team. They played Del Rapids to 5 2 weeks ago. They're going to battle. They're coming off a good win and played very well against Canton. So we've had down the stretch now some games that we have played pretty well in the third quarter, where we've separated games. And the same thing, I think they were stuck on 25. They didn't score for probably 4 or 5 minutes. And it wasn't that we were great on the offensive end, but it allowed us to push it into double figures. And then with about 2 minutes to go in the third, it was huge. It was an 11-point game, and we said, this thing's either going back to single digits, and they have life, and they believe they're still in the basketball game. We got a couple stops, got a bucket, finished up 14 at the end of 3, and then obviously had a big push to start the fourth and kind of got separation and was able to control things from there on out.
We saw Jacob Dobney dominate in that first half. But then I think Lennox just did an amazing job of really keying in on him, taking him away from the ball game. How big, though, was a performance like Noah Gilbertson in offensive rebounds this evening for your team?
Huge. It's extra possessions. He hit some big-time shots on the perimeter, which spaces the floor for our team. And, and that's been, our guys all season long. You go through 21 games, and it's been I think the one constant is we defend pretty well. We play pretty hard. But, Jacob scored some points this year, obviously, but we've just kind of had different ways, different guys. And we've said this, our top 7, all 7 of them are capable of scoring in double figures. So it gives you some balance. You can move the basketball around a little bit. You can score in different ways. And we had guys step up tonight, and we needed it.
By the way, quick number for you. 17-5 offensive rebounds. That's what you did against Lennox, and 17 of your 46 were offensively. So a great job in that performance. You talk about that knockout punch that you kind of delivered early into the third quarter, and then to start off that fourth quarter. When it started to get pulled away, how much more confidence did you see from your team in hitting shots like those three-pointers?
Yeah, it's a crazy game, confidence, and you saw that, and I don't think our kids were necessarily playing tight, but obviously everything's magnified, and it seems like every possession's so crucial. And then when we got a little separation, you could just see our guys relax, and just within, we went on a stretch there where, I think Noah hit a couple threes, Connor hit a 3. Guys are relaxed, shooting it loose and confident. And, again, that's when we're at our best, playing our best basketball. Is a group that, these kids, they want it as bad as anyone. And you just try as a coaching staff not to, because I think they feel and get enough pressure the way it is from the outside sources.
Sure.
That you just want them to be able to go relax, have fun, and play, and enjoy the moment. Everything he did all season long, just go enjoy the moment. And it's a great win for our team. Obviously, it advances us to the next round, next step. And yet, to a man, if you go in there, it's still business-like. It's like we've got work to do still.
How much, before we get to who we know your next opponent is, how much now is the emphasis going into Tuesday on the year 1989?
None. We're sitting here. We'll practice tomorrow morning just to get them in and, visit just about what's going on here over the next few days. We'll have them come back Sunday afternoon, and really Sunday, Monday, start to zero in and allow us time just from a film standpoint the next day and a half or so, and lock in from a game preparation on who we're playing Tuesday night. These guys, what I like about the crew right now is we've gotten to the point here where now it's actually, when you talk about one game, during the regular season you're trying to win conference titles, trying for region seeding. Tonight you're just trying to advance. They're in a position now that you are in a one-game season again, postseason, one-game season, but the goal they have, we don't need to talk about it. We know 1989. This is their game now, okay? And, people forget it. It's nice winning games. It's nice being 21-0. But I asked our crew a week ago after our regular season, I said, guys, on November 30th, our first day of practice, if someone came in here and said, hey, you guys are going to have a 15-5 regular season, you're going to be a 2 or 3 seed in your region, you're going to go win 3 games, and you're going to go into the state tournament 18-5, and whatever the bracket looks like, that's what the bracket is. If they said you could have that, or you can have a 20-0 regular season and finish 20-1 or 21-1, okay, but enjoy the ride of 20 straight wins, all that, what would you guys take? And to a man, they said, we'll take 15-5, go 18-5, and get to a state tournament. It's their goal, and we're in a situation that we're back to that game. We want to win games, but people forget, we won 7 in a row going into the Sodak 16 last year. So, we've won 28 of our last 29 games over the last 2 seasons. The one lost in there is the Sodak 16.
Yep.
They are back to the point we were at when before this whole pandemic, COVID, everything. That's our opportunity Tuesday night, and they got to go capture the moment.
Coach, before I let you go, are you a betting man?
I just want to hear your scores so I can. I've already got my mind's racing. Who we play, obviously. There was 5 teams going into tonight. When you're the number 1 overall seed, it gets eliminated already. You know, a year ago when we had the same conversation in the Lennox gym, we're sitting there and I basically, you know, there was so many different directions. We could be a 11, we could be a 12, we could be up to a 10, which we ended up. Who moves, you know, and we land with Del Rapids. Tonight, I knew chances are, unless there's a drastic upset, we were going to see Millbank, Sisseton, Parker, Wagner, or Belfouche, and it's just a matter of their matchups.
Now, going into this, the official matchup was going to be you and Wagner. A couple things have happened.
If things held serve, right.
Yep, exactly. It'll be you versus Millbank is who it will be.
They beat Groton, huh?
They beat Groton.
Which is, they were the lowest of those 5 teams. So,
yep.
Hey, it's like I told our crew, we don't care who it is, just like a year ago. A great opportunity for our guys, one, to go win a basketball game and try to get to a state tournament, and that was one of probably our poorest performance a year ago as they got us in the DAC 12 NEC clash last year.
I guess I shouldn't assume that either. There is one other game going on. That's St. Thomas More and Hill City.
Yeah,
but
I'll take Tommy Moore on that.
If I was a betting man, I would easily take St. Thomas More. Well, Coach, go rest up. We'll see you wherever the game is going to be at on Tuesday. We'll be there with all the coverage, all right?
All right, perfect. Thanks.
There he is, head coach Jay Drake here on the First Dakota National Bank postgame show. As again, Coach Drake and I will both take St. Thomas More. No offense, Hill City fans. Right now, that one with 3 minutes left in the second quarter, it's 28-19. So, for purpose sakes, let's just say St. Thomas More is going to win, all right? This is what the official Sodak 16 bracket is going to be. The only thing we do not know about this is where we're going to be at. Now, that is going to fall into different places. There's a couple different spots in my mind that we might end up playing at, but we'll wait for that on another discussion. And this will be the official bracket right now. Number 1, Vermillion will take on number 16, Millbank. Dakota Valley escapes the T area Titans. They will take on number 15 seed, Sisseton. Number 3, Sioux Valley will take on number 14, Wagner. Number 4, Sioux Falls Christian will take on number 13, Custer. Number 5, St. Thomas More will play against number 12, Madison. Number 6, Chamberlain will go against number 11, Flandreau. Number 7, Winter will take on number 10, Mobridge. And it'll be 8, Del Rapids taking on 9, Rapid City Christian. While we have a quick moment, let's go through it. Sisseton beat Tispazina 54-41. Wagner took down Parker 77-70. Mobridge beat Stanley County 54-40. Madison beat Parkston 64-37. Vermillion again beats Lennox 68-43. Winter took down Hot Springs 61-30. Oh my goodness. At halftime, St. Thomas More leads it by 1 against Hill City as Hill City went on a 9-0 run to draw it within 1. My goodness. Well, maybe I shouldn't assume anymore. You know what they say about assuming. Millbank beat Groton area 51-42. Sioux Falls Christian beat Garrettson 65-31. Flandreau beat Florence Henry 48-44. Del Rapids took down West Central 65-52. Dakota Valley escapes T area 64-58. Sioux Valley takes down Clark Willow Lake 57-43. Chamberlain beat Miller 81-36. And again, Rapid City took down Belfouche 45-40. And Custer got the forfeit against Lakota Tech. We knew that coming into this evening because of COVID-19 cases with Lakota Tech that Custer had automatically punched their ticket on. And right now, another score update has come across. And now I'm starting to question things looking at this because another score has it at 32-32 at halftime between Hill City and St. Thomas More. And I don't know if that's a true score now or not. We'll see if we can't pull up a video stream quickly, because if that is true, that would make things extremely interesting. I guess there would still be a chance that it would be changed around, and I believe that Hill City could play against Vermillion. But as I mentioned, that would be a very outside chance. As I pull up my numbers here quick, have to find out, will Hill City, Hill City 6-14 on the season, 37.50 seed points. So I guess if Hill City would somehow get the upset of St. Thomas More, they would play against Vermillion. But right now, Tanager fans, let's just assume St. Thomas More gets the win, and it'll be Vermillion versus Millbank coming up on Tuesday evening. When? Well, that's a good question that unfortunately I do not have the answer. Where? I don't have that question or that answer either to that question as we now await. This will all be determined here in the next few days. One place I will direct you, though, is the South Dakota High School Activities Association website. You watch that in the next couple of days, and they will tell you exactly where it's going to be. And as soon as that does get announced, I will also, if you follow along on Twitter, I will keep that up to date as well with our Twitter page. I can tell you this much. It will do it for us here at the Vermillion High School. It has been one heck of a run here at home, and it's to see Vermillion have an undefeated season, and not only have that undefeated season, but also be the DAC-12 champions, hosting up that trophy 11 days ago, and now get this win moving into the SODAC 16. The fun continues. It's not over with. What's going to happen next for Vermillion? Can they finally end that drought of 1989 and make it back to the state tournament? Whatever happens, we'll have all the coverage coming up on Tuesday evening right here on ESPN Radio along with Fuller Digital Solutions. Big thanks to Mark Krebs and Suki Ford who ran our video stream tonight. And big thanks to you fans out there for keeping it tuned in, whether on ESPN Radio or Fuller Digital Solutions. It's been a lot of fun, and one final congratulations goes to the Lennox Orioles. Maybe not the season that they wanted, but one heck of a season and a lot of youth that will be coming back for next year. Watch for the Lennox Orioles in the next couple of years to make a run for that top spot inside of Region 4A and get back to what they did last year. But again, congratulations to the Lennox Orioles on their season. Big thanks once again to Suki Ford, Mark Krebs. I'm Heath Nimke. You've been listening to Tanager Basketball on ESPN Radio. We now get you back to regular programming. Have yourself a wonderful rest of your evening.
You've been listening to Vermillion Tanager Basketball on ESPN 1015 and AM 1570. Your home for Vermillion Athletics. Vermillion Basketball has been presented by First Dakota National Bank and our Vermillion Sportscaster sponsors. Stay tuned to ESPN and KBTK.com for the next game for Vermillion Basketball and easy ways to listen and watch all the action. We now get you back to regular programming on ESPN Radio.
Weight fighters of all time. This is a big opportunity for him. He's never fought in a fight like this before, and he was on a podcast hosted by another UFC fighter, Sean O'Malley. And for some reason, I'll be honest, I don't listen to the podcast. It's not my thing, but the clip got circulated everywhere. They were talking about Megan Anderson, who's fighting in the co-main event against Amanda Nunes for the women's featherweight title, and they made some disparaging remarks about her looks, disgusting stuff, inappropriate stuff. I would have loved for the UFC to come out and say something, anything about it, how they don't condone this type of rhetoric, whether it's employees or fighters, whatever. Apparently, Casey has gone up to her this week and personally apologized. You know, coincidentally, they're both on the same card, so he had an opportunity to do so. Good on him for doing so. He apologized actually on Twitter publicly, but also apparently, I'm told, apologized privately as well. So we'll see how, you know, Megan feels about all that. I'm sure she doesn't care at this point. I'm sure she just wants to focus on the title fight. It's the biggest opportunity of her life. But yeah, lowbrow, inappropriate stuff. And, you know, I would like to think that we're all better than that. But of course, we all know that we're not.
Yeah, we live on planet Earth. No doubt about that. Ariel Helwani, ESPN MMA reporter. Don't forget about his podcast, Ariel Helwani's MMA show, also on ESPN Radio, joining us here on Freddie and Fitzsimmons, Easy and Fitzsimmons. I'm Freddie Coleman. And you mentioned in terms of not having that kind of behavior. But, Ari, like you mentioned, we know what UFC MMA has been about in terms of their fans wanting this kind of action, for lack of a better term. But at a certain point, how much could that apology go a long way? Not reversing the whole culture, but letting everybody know, saying, we got a great sport here. We don't need to reduce ourselves to that kind of sophomoric behavior, that sophomoric language.
Yeah, I don't want to paint everyone with the same brush, because I actually would strongly argue that the MMA community is a very inclusive community, and I'll explain why. You can have a fight where you'll have 11 fights on a card, right? You'll have a fight card with 11 fights, and then, the top one, the main event, the last one will be 2 women, and the other 10 will be, featuring 2 guys fighting each other, and no one bats an eye. No one says that this isn't, this isn't up to par. This isn't worth my money. MMA fans have accepted female fighters long before, I would say maybe tennis and golf are the only other more inclusive ones, but way more so than boxing, more so than basketball, in my opinion, than maybe soccer these days is getting a lot more popular. But it's amazing for a fight sport, they're pretty inclusive. And you have a fighter like Amanda Nunes, who's one of the biggest stars in the sport, who just so happens to be a lesbian as well, who is beloved in mixed martial arts. And we know about Ronda Rousey. We know about Gina Carano back in the day. I mean, there have been a lot of female stars. So, one guy saying a stupid thing on a podcast shouldn't reflect how everyone feels about females in this sport. And I would say that for a sport that kind of gets branded as being, a bunch of Neanderthals who like to watch barroom brawling, the fans, for the most part, have been very respectful and very open to the females. And I think a lot of the women fighters, when they talk to their counterparts in boxing, would vouch for that as well.
I wasn't going to get to fight. You sold me, man. I'm in. I'm watching tomorrow night.
You're in?
Hell yeah.
So you were out